Well, I was asking about, so gaming for me is largely about escapism. It is about going into a different, and particularly this year, it has become more and more for me about escapism, about I can't deal with the real world around me. I need to get into something over here. So what is gaming about for you? And I'm going to come back to you, Matt. What is gaming about for you?
Well, as I mentioned at the start, I love stories, beauty, and sale. And been reflecting on this when the PS5 was released, and thinking about I had planned. I have an old PlayStation and a PlayStation Pro at home, so I thought PS5 is quite a bit of money. You're going to be able to port back and use PS4 games on that, so it kind of makes the PS4 obsolete. So maybe I'll sell one or both of them. But then, thinking about my old battered black PS4, and it reminded me that it has been for the last 7 years, it has been a constant, unwavering, reliable companion through some of the most tumultuous years of my life. It has been sat there in the background, ready to support me, never asks anything of me, has never given me any trouble. It's never going to go away. It's a constant. And that realization really moved me. And I don't think I'll be selling either of them, because that's what gaming is to me. It's a reliable, constant companion that there will never not be another game. There will never not be another console. It'll always be there for you. And that's really important for me.
And when I was reflecting similarly yesterday and realising how gutted I am I don't have the Amstrad, because I bet you that thing would still work now. I bet you I can still load up New Zealand Story and get it there. Alex, how about you? What is gaming for you?
Yeah, probably fairly similar to everybody, is that it's mainly an escapism for me. As everyone said, it's about getting lost in a particular world or in a story, and just spending hours there and not having to worry about the outside world. I think also in some ways, I think it's also about, there's the aspect where you get a sense of achievement from completing tasks and puzzle solving. Sometimes that's quite a nice feeling, just to, if you've had a really awful day and you come home and get about 10 trophies on the PS5, you'd be like, yes, I've achieved something today. This is good. And then, of course, I think part of gaming is also the social aspect. Before you could game online, we always had a lot of gaming, like when we used to play Tomb Raider and things. Most of the family would come and watch. So it's kind of always been quite social, even without online gaming for me as well. I remember when I got the PS2 for Christmas one year, we spent most of Christmas Day playing World Rally Championship 2 and having a go on the races, even my grandma, which she spent most of the time driving off the cliff, which was hilarious, of course. But yeah, it became quite a social activity in our house, which is lovely. Really.
Yeah, I always like giving people. Mario Kart was always the one in my house where somebody would try and play Mario Kart. At the time I was judgmental of over the age of 40. Just, what do I do? Why is it coming up? What's that? Well, the achievements thing really rings true with me as well. I'll come back to that another time. But today, if anyone's playing the new Stardew Valley content, because they released a big update for Stardew Valley, and suddenly there's a thing that requires me to collect 250 of a specific type of wood, which is an extremely long time. But I spent most of yesterday and today doing that because I'm determined to get that achievement. Just saying. Right, Jen, what is gaming to you?
Oh, gaming is so much to me, actually, and talking with you guys has really helped to rekindle a lot of that for me, actually. So thank you. It's everything that Matt and Alex and you, Caroline, have said already. You know, it's an escape. It's a way to get a sense of achievement, even if the day has been total pants. It's been a way for me to meet some amazing people. I have key moments in my life where my memory is extremely vivid of actually standing there and having a moment, and it's a virtual moment. It was in a virtual world, and it didn't, but it feels like it happened. So I think, you know, definitely the escapism, and I think it's also about being able to broaden your world and see how you feel being a different person, a different gender, a different race, you know, an alien creature. You know, it just gives you an opportunity to explore yourself in a different role. And I think it also gives you an opportunity to then re-look at yourself from that perspective. I don't want to get too sort of out there about it, but yeah, I think that has actually been something that's been really, really important to me. And yeah, I think it's a opportunity to get really immersed into that world is also lovely. And as I said, I think that's why my memories in some cases can be so, even from when I think about my mudding days, I can see the places as though I stood there, and that was just text on a screen. And you know, it used to move so fast, and other people would come and they'd be like, how can you keep up with that? And I just did. I had some kind of I mean, you talk about the Matrix, that's what it felt like. You know, it was coming off the screen and going into my soul. And I think, you know, the whole opportunity to play with people, to, as Alex was explaining, you know, to play with family members or friends. It's a similar thing to like walking with somebody. If you walk alongside somebody, you can have a conversation, you can just relax, you can just be together. You don't have, it's not as intense. And I think sometimes that's the same thing with gaming, whether it's a board game or a computer game or a, you know, and whether it's you know, you're doing something really complicated or you're doing something really casual. I think there's such a lot to be gained from that, and I think I'm really passionate about it, and I love to play games with other people. I love to play games on my own. I love to play games with my daughter. I just think there's so much to be gained from it.